In this episode, we're going to be looking at another filter inside of Luminar 2018, and this time we're going to be looking at the Sunrays filter. This is a pretty cool filter. It adds a really nice sunray effect, so let's get right into it. First thing we want to do is duplicate our background layer. Again, we always like to duplicate it because we want to work non-destructively. So to do that, we're going to go and hold the Command key down and press the letter J. And that duplicates the layer. So Command J to duplicate the layer. And then what we want to do is go up to the menus in Photoshop and click on Filter, followed by Skylum Software. Click on Luminar 2018. And then once Luminar boots up, we're going to go up to Add Filter, click Add Filter, and we're going to look for the Sunrays filter. And it is, where is it? It's right down here. And again, if you can't find it, guys, you can come up to the search field and type Sunray. Let's just do that. Sunray. There's Sunrays right there. Click on that, and we got the Sunray filter. Now let's get rid of this this list of filters here by clicking Add Filters. That removes that, so we have more real estate to work with. Now let's just take a look at this really cool filter. In this filter, we basically have this Place Sun Center. So when we click this, we can tell the sun where we want it to be. And look at the cool effects it does. And it does its own little masking job where it hides itself behind the trees and so on and so forth. It's a pretty intelligent filter. So let's just find a little spot where we want to add our sun. I'm going to say like maybe right in here. Let's have some sun going, okay? The X and Y, this stands for the X-axis and the Y-axis, but I like to use the Place Sun Center to place my sun. But you can change the X-axis by moving this left or right. And again, the Y-axis up and down by moving the Y left and right. But again, I think it's so much easier just to click Place Sun Center and find the place you want to put it and just drag it there. So I don't really mess around with the X and Y too much. If you wanted to tweak it a little bit, it's fine to use, but Place Sun Center works for me. Now let's look at all the different sliders in here and see what we have here. We have the Sunrays. Under Sunrays, we have Amount. So if we move the Amount slider to the right, we're going to increase the amount of sunrays. If we move it to the left, we're going to decrease it. So we're just looking for the fill that we want to see in our image. And I'm going to go with something about right about here, about 25. Now the look is an interesting slider. It kind of acts like a vignette, but really I think what it's designed to do is add some ambient light to the scene or take it away. So if I move the look to the right, you'll notice the image it doesn't try. It actually takes on some ambient light to the scene. So we can change the mood of the scene. Or if we want to make it darker and more ethereal, we can move it to the left. And see how it acts sort of like a vignette. It kind of vignettes the edges a little bit. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Maybe somewhere right around here. I think that looks pretty good. Let's click the eyeball on and off so we can see the before and after so far. So far looking pretty cool. Let's work our way down these sliders. Next we have number. This is the number of sunrays that's going to come out of it. So we can adjust the number of sunrays that we want to see. Okay, let's just find a spot that we like. And again, you just got to play with this, guys. Can't decide. I'm going to decide on that menu right there for now. And then the length, if you adjust the length to the left, you'll shorten the length of the sun rays. So you can get that type of look. Or if you want a longer sun ray look, we can move that to the right and make the rays get longer. So let's go somewhere, maybe right in here. I think that looks pretty good. Now, the sun, okay, I'm sorry, that was the length. Next we come to the warmth. Now the warmth, we'll add warmth to the rays. Now if we move the warmth to the right, we can see the rays are getting warmer. If we move it to the left, they're going to cool down a little bit. So let's just find a spot that looks pretty natural. And I'm going to say maybe right about there at 55. Now the sun deals with the actual sun itself. So we can adjust the radius of the sun. If we move the radius slider to the right, we're going to make the sun bigger. We move it to the left, we're going to make the sun smaller. So depending how large or small you want that sun to be, adjust the radius. I kind of like it like right about there. Now the glow radius is going to adjust the amount of glow on the sun. So if I move it to the left, I take the glow away. If I move it to the right, see how I'm adding more glow? Especially look around this area right here as I move that glow radius up. See there? And we add a little bit more ethereal glow. So I'm going to add some glow in there, somewhere right around there. And then the glow amount, if we move that slider to the right, we're adding more glow. If we move it to the left, we're adding less glow. Okay, so just play with these sliders, guys, till you find something that you like. And I'm going to go, say, somewhere right around there. And now we have the warmth of the actual sun itself, so we can make that sun warmer or we can cool it down a little bit. But let's find a spot that we like. I'm going to say maybe right around there looks pretty good. Now the penetration would be the penetration of the rays. So moving that to the right, see how it permeates into the image more. We can go for that like blinding light coming right at us, guys. That's pretty cool. Let's go maybe say somewhere right about there. Oh, here's a little tip too, guys. If you go on these sliders and you go to see where the number is 47, if you hover over that, see how the cursor changes to those two little arrows with a bar through it. That gives you a more, makes the adjustment work slower. So if I move this to the left, you know, it's a little more, it makes a little more accurate adjustment. So that's a pretty good slider to know. Sometimes when you're moving the slider, it moves really quick on you. See, watch, when I move the slider itself, it's hard to sometimes control it. So if you hover over the numbers, you can, like I said, get a little more control of how that's going to adjust. So let's put it right about there. I kind of like that. And then randomize is it'll take on a more random look as you slide this. The rays will just randomly move around on you there. So if you like a spot, you say, oh, that looks awesome, I'm going to leave it right there. In fact, I do kind of like that, so I'm going to leave that right there. And then, of course, always the filters amount. If I had a stack of filters here, this filters amount would control the opacity of all the filters. Let me just pull that down to show you so I can take off some of the effect there. In my case, I always like to pretty much go full strength back into Photoshop. That way I can adjust the opacity on the layers inside of Photoshop. But I kind of like that. Let's look at the overall before and after. Click on the eyeball up here. There's the before and there's the after. Looking pretty good. Now, if we like what we have, let's go up here and click Apply. And now we're going to come right back into Photoshop. And once we're in Photoshop, and this renders out, then we come onto our own layer right here. And we could rename this layer if we wanted to. Let's just click on that layer and give it a double click and say Sunrays. Sun, R-A-Y-S. If I could spell, I'd be in good shape. Sunrays Luminar. All right, just so we know what we've done there. So there's Sunrays Luminar. Then I have the opacity here. I can move this opacity to the left, take it down a little bit, move it to the right. And if I wanted to, guys, I could add a layer mask here by clicking on the Add Layer Mask icon right down here. Then if I get a black brush, and again, remember our shortcut for brush is, if brush isn't selected, mine is selected, but if you'd press the B key, you would get the brush tool would come up here. And make sure that you're going to be painting with black. And I want an opacity about, oh, say somewhere around 30%. What I want to do is I just want to paint off some of the rays off of this tree, paint them back a little bit, make this look a little more realistic in the forest. So let's look at the before and after here. Now here's a little trick. If you hold the shift key down on your keyboard and click on the layer mask, you will shut the layer mask off so you can see what the painting of the layer mask has done to my image. And I like it. It looks a little more natural. So shift and click the layer mask will cause the layer mask to go back to its default showing everything coming through on the image. So no, I like what I've done here with the painting there on the layer mask. So there it is, guys. Luminar 2018 Sunrays filter, a pretty cool filter inside of Luminar 2018. Thanks for tuning in today. If you like this video, please give it a like. And as always, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already doing so. Click the bell notification so you get the notifications of new videos that I produce. And I produce these videos, as I said before, about, once every 1 to 3 days, a new video will be coming your way. And so stay tuned and be looking for the videos. And I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.